Every December, the smell of Christmas started long before the decorations went up or the carols began to play on the radio. It started in my grandmother's kitchen. Her house, tucked at the edge of a bustling Lagos neighborhood, was the heartbeat of our family's Christmas. And the crown jewel of the celebration was Grandma's rice cooler. Grandma's rice cooler wasn't just a pot of rice. It was tradition, magic, and nostalgia wrapped in warm, fluffy grains. She always used a large, bright orange cooler, the kind that had seen decades of family celebrations. No matter how much rice she cooked, the cooler was always bottomless. There was enough to feed the army of cousins, uncles, aunts, and friends who descended upon her house every Christmas, and every spoonful tasted like love. From the age of 6, I knew the holiday season had officially begun when Grandma spread out her ingredients in the tiny kitchen. The rice, so white it gleamed, stood next to bowls of peppery stew, fragrant fried goat meat, spiced chicken, and her signature smoky jollof rice that could rival any chef's. She moved with a rhythm, humming hymns as her silver hair peeked out from under her bright Ankara scarf. Her laughter echoed through the house as she narrated stories of her youth, how she once ran barefoot across her father's cocoa farm, or how Grandpa, may his soul rest in peace, had won her heart with a clumsily written poem. The children, my cousins and I, were always underfoot, sneaking bites of fried plantain and giggling when she caught us. "An, leave my food alone, you this pickins," she would scold, shaking her head but never really angry. And every year she would gather us in the parlor, sit us down with bowls of steaming rice, and tell us stories. Her stories weren't just tales, they were lessons about kindness, family, and love. We hung on her every word, even if we had heard the same story 100 times. Christmas Day at Grandma's house was a carnival. Relatives spilled out of the small bungalow, children ran around with plates of rice, and the sound of high-life music mixed with the clinking of bottles and bursts of laughter. It wasn't just about the food, it was about connection. Grandma's rice cooler wasn't just a dish, it was glue binding us all together. But this year is different. Grandma isn't here. She passed away in March, and though we've had months to process the loss, nothing feels the same. It's a week to Christmas, and instead of excitement, there's a heavy silence in my heart. The house feels quieter. The air doesn't carry the aroma of her cooking. There's no humming from the kitchen. The orange cooler sits in the corner, clean but untouched. It feels wrong to even look at it. I don't know what Christmas will be like without her. I can't imagine it. I don't want to. For the first time in years, I don't feel like going to Grandma's house. How can we gather without the person who made us a family? How can we celebrate when the essence of Christmas is missing? I keep thinking of her stories, her laugh, the way her hands moved with purpose when she cooked, and how her face lit up when we told her we loved her food. I remember the last Christmas with her. She was frail but still insistent on cooking. "I'll rest when I'm gone," she joked, waving away offers to help. That day, she told us one last story about how Christmas, to her, wasn't about the rice or the gifts, but about seeing all of us together, laughing, eating, and sharing love. She had said it with a smile, but I noticed the tears in her eyes. Now, her words haunt me. I sit here staring at my phone, waiting for someone to suggest cancelling Christmas altogether, but no one does. Instead, my cousins start a group chat. "We'll cook together," one suggests. "We'll tell her stories ourselves," says another. Slowly, we begin to plan. Not because we want to, but because she would have wanted us to. On Christmas Day, we gather at her house. The orange cooler is there, filled not with her perfect rice, but with a jollof that we all cooked together. It doesn't taste the same. It never will. But as we eat and laugh, I realize that the essence of Christmas isn't completely gone. It's in the way we're still here, together, carrying on her legacy. When the evening comes, we sit in the parlor, and for the first time, I tell one of Grandma's stories. My voice shakes, and my eyes well up, but I push through. By the end, everyone is crying, not just from sadness, but from love. Grandma may not be here, but her spirit fills every corner of that house. It always will. And so, as the night ends, I find myself smiling through the tears. Grandma's Christmas wasn't just about the rice cooler. It was about the love she poured into it and the love she left behind in all of us.